What is going on there, kings and queens and everything between? It's your boys, MFC and Subtle Fraudulent, coming back at you with yet another episode of the greatest podcast on the planet, CLOUT.WAV. And unfortunately for everybody involved, HBO Max, man. I don't know how we got here. Things were looking up. We were thinking about getting new shows. Harley Quinn show season 3 just dropped. There were plenty of things on the horizon that we were all just happy-go-lucky for and over the moon with. And now, with the whole merger between Discovery, Warner Brothers, and HBO Max getting into the works, we're going to be getting a brand new subscription service, which is going to be a fusion of HBO Max and Discovery Plus. Now, out of all things that are on Discovery Plus right now, is there anything on Discovery Plus that you care about at all?
90 Day Fiance, before
Okay.
the 90 Day Fiance before the 90 days, 90 Day Fiance the other way, 90 Day Fiance Happily Ever After. Oh my God, what else is it? Oh, I'm sorry, 90 Day Fiance The Single Life, featuring Ed the Pred himself, big ol' Ed, the small man who's awful and is apparently going to be in the new season. Yeah.
I'm noticing a common theme here.
Yeah, there is definitely a common theme when it comes to that platform. 90 Day Fiance, and then maybe some nature stuff that you care about, but Discovery Plus, so far that I know, all the original content that they have is 90 Day Fiance related. So I think HBO is going to be carrying the streaming side of this platform. I mean, apparently Dr. Pimple Popper is on Discovery Plus, which, if that's what you're into, cool, but never me. I'll tell you that much right now. But they own Lifetime's content, so that means all those lovely Lifetime movies that you're a big fan of. Yeah, they're coming to HBO, or HBO's coming to them.
You mean the movies where there's just one guy who's the working man and his wife's a drunk and the wife gets infatuated and starts taking dick from some random dude that you don't really even get to know about, but then they paint the husband to be the villain? Those movies? Oh man, the whole collection's coming out, baby.
Or, sir, the one of the best Lifetime movies, Cyber Seduction, the movie about the teenage boy who becomes addicted to his pornography, and it leads him down a dark path where he gets jumped by the random dudes in the street because he's too busy objectifying so many women, including some guy's girlfriend and his own girlfriend.
I think the only shows that I would have cared about on there is the Prison Breaker, which basically is an escape artist basically trying to teach you, this is a tutorial on how I would get out of this prison. You know?
Bro.
Like, it's the whole thing. It's basically a 4-hour documentary that just dives into the mind of criminals using hundreds of letters, personal photos, videos, and interviews to tell you not just about prison life, but how you can get out that mug. And in some cases, it may not necessarily be that fucking hard. Now, with that being said, the only other thing I can think of that's on Discovery Plus right now is Dark Side of the Ring, because the boy, has that taught us that there are people in the wrestling business who are infinitely worse than you thought. And somehow, in terms of worst people in the wrestling business, Vince McMahon still hasn't cracked the top 10 because they're wild out there. Especially if you're talking about going back into the 80s when there was a crack epidemic and all that. Oh man, it was definitely something. Now, I'm not saying that there's nothing that they can have in their catalog, but everything else is like stuff that's like, you've got to dig out fossil fuels from like 2003, like Mythbusters, things of that nature that are still on there. I think Good Eats is on there too.
Didn't someone from Mythbusters pass away last year, if I remember correctly?
What you're not gonna do is get me to lie to you, because
Look, I'm not Mythbusters like stan. I watched some of the earlier seasons a long time ago when they were like in their prime, and after that I did not keep up with the series, so I don't know who's on there. I don't know if it's the same two guys plus their team or if it's other people, but apparently someone from that team passed away.
Apparently,
last year.
Grant Imahara, the longtime host of the show, died from a brain aneurysm randomly. So that's rough. That's rough. That truly is rough.
I think the show like stopped a little while before that too, and maybe this is why. But I know MythBusters has not been getting like new episodes, so you know it's interesting to
right?
see that it's going to be coming to that platform. There's some of that nostalgia.
But yeah, like there's not really much on there that's really worth it to me. But the thing that's crazy is I don't know if you necessarily have heard the other side of the news. HBO is having to lay off a lot of people, which means the folks over at HBO Max who are in charge of the HBO Max exclusive scripted content, such as your DC animated shows that are made as original content specifically for HBO Max, and the live action stuff that is once again written specifically to be scripted content on HBO Max. So the stuff that's typically just on HBO or things that are really coming to theaters or going to DVD and then just find their way to HBO Max, none of those are in danger. All of those are fine. But your Harley Quinn shows, your DC Titan, stuff like that, it's on discussion to be on the chopping block. So what I don't want is shows that I care about to get cut off, left on the cutting room floor. And they're going to trying to get me to pay to continue my HBO Max subscription because I won't. But the other thing is, let's just say they do keep all the shows that we care about and we do get more installments of it. Are you ready for the impending price hike? Because now they're going to try to say, but you're getting 2 services in one with the merger with Discovery. Like, how do you think that's going to pan out? Like, do you feel as though they're going to try to charge us more? Or do you think they're going to give us the old, you guys have been loyal to us all along. It's the same price.
Well, HBO Max is like $15 a month.
That's
So
true.
if they charge you more, then they're probably going to lose subscribers at this point because they're probably, if not actually the most expensive, they're one of the most expensive streaming services that's out there right now, that's active right now. So, yeah,
The
I
reason the
don't.
reason why the reason why I do believe that I could see that they won't do it is because I believe Discovery Plus is only $4.99. I just don't see them kicking it up to $20
Yeah, if
because
they
you can
do that,
also
it's bad.
because there's also a Discovery Plus ad free edition. Yes, there's levels to it, obviously. But for $7 a month, $6.99, you can watch it with no ads. So I would just assume that when they integrate, it's just going to be $15. But if they hike it up to 20, dear help, that might be a make or break price point for a lot of people out there.
Yeah, and a lot of people have been talking about all these shows that are getting canceled because, like, what the Harley Quinn cartoon, the third season has just been released. Well, the first 3 episodes of the third season have just been released. What is it? F-Boy Island just finished its second season. I have to watch the finale. The freaking all these like original things that are on HBO Max are apparently getting canceled. So nothing is safe. And if you had a program that's on HBO Max that you liked watching, nothing is safe. I mean, shows like Succession and Westworld are probably not
And
going to get canceled. So,
Euphoria
but
is going to be just fine.
yeah, Euphoria will probably be just fine. It's probably only got 2 more seasons left, anyways. I think actually that was announced that it has like 1 or 2 more seasons left, anyways. Um, but yeah, it does seem very scary for things like the Degrassi reboot that got announced last year. With this Batgirl movie that got announced, filmed, finished, and then said it is irredeemable and it's not getting released. You worry, like, because look, man,
But yeah, I'm sure it's going to be a juicy tax write off, though.
of course it is, of course it is.
So here's
Like,
my next question: who's going to be the leaker, man? Who's going to bite one for the team, bro? Who's going to do it, bro?
look,
I mean,
someone
you
is gonna have to
already
get.
finished it, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
Hey, look, if they could get into Hunter Biden's phone, then
no,
they can get into anything, all right? We'll get a copy of this very, very soon. Don't you worry, buddy.
it's probably
Don't
Alex
you
Jones's
worry.
phone right now.
Well, I mean, look, I'm a fan of Degrassi. I grew up with Degrassi. I've seen every single episode of Degrassi. I didn't watch a lot of the older stuff, like Degrassi Junior High and what is it, the original Degrassi and whatnot. But Next Generation is it's very important. It breeds a lot of nostalgia. That's an IP that a lot of people are gonna want to see a reboot out of, because you don't want a continuation, because I don't know, people really hated the next class. I guess Netflix like fumbled the bag so hard that like they don't even have the license to that show anymore or something. But yeah, if that gets canceled, then you're gonna have a community of people who are gonna riot in the streets for sure.
They're gonna be big tilted. That's you telling me?
Big tilted.
So
And
you
like,
saying so you saying Degrassi fans ride hard for these show?
for sure.
I
Because
didn't know that. I'm not engrossed in Degrassi culture, man. You getting me up to speed right now.
wait, did you watch any of it?
No.
So you don't know the humble beginnings of Aubrey Graham, aka Drizzy Drake?
Oh, I know he's
himself?
in the show. I just don't give a damn.
Wow. Fake fans over here, guys. Fake fans. No, but
Who said I was a fan of Drake?
But yeah, the show is good. Well, okay. If you go back and watch it right now, the show is mostly cringe because
So it hasn't aged well.
Not well. You got to understand that the context is that this is supposed to be like an after-school special type of show made by Canadians with people who are in Canada. So there's a lot of like cringy dialogue, cringy moments that are in the show, but like some that are also iconic because because it was a Canadian show and not an American show, they were allowed to do things that American shows would not do at that time. It's one of the first like teen television shows that featured a female to male transgender man and like accurately like represented this person in their teen years and like all the situations they had to deal with, including the bathrooms, the family, other people not being supportive, the transphobia, all of that. That was there alongside with all forms of like the gay character in a show like that, including the homophobic gay guy who every time like even after kissing a man was like, "What are you talking about? I'm straight. I'm straight. I'm straight. Leave me alone. No, no." And then also having fake girlfriends, which turned out to be because like anytime he told his mom, he's like, "Mom, I'm gay." She's like, "Huh? Did you say something?" Well, he's like, "Mom, I'm gay." "Oh, no, you're not. What are you talking about?" "Oh, you're so funny." He's like, "Mom, I'm gay." What? Stop that nonsense. Stop telling me that.
Fucking aneurysm in the middle of the kitchen.
But yeah, no, it's like it put teen shows on the map pretty much. Like it did everything that those shows were supposed to do and more, and it provided a lot of like lighthearted moments. So it's monumental. Having that license is very important for the show. And if they just fumble the bag with that, then they're losing a lot of money. They're losing a lot of fans, and like it's gonna be hard for people to care about HBO originals because Euphoria can only do so much. Season 2 has divided the fan base. So Euphoria can only do so much. And with people hearing that Sydney Sweeney is struggling, Euphoria can only do so much. So
that's rough.
Yeah. I don't know what's happening at HBO, but I hope that they fix that shit real quick, because the one thing I hate is when a company decides they're going to merge with someone else, or they're going to have new leadership or whatever, and they get rid of all the things that matter, all the things that are good, and they say we're gonna tighten this ship up, and then they fuck up everything.
They sink the boat. Because while we may be leaning more on the HBO Max side, there's plenty of people out there who care about Discovery Plus, and it's gonna be tough to ask them, "Hey, that $4.99 that you was handing over? Yeah, we're gonna need to see that $14.99 now, big guy. Let's go ahead and triple the price on you real quick." Like that's gonna be a tough sell to that crowd. Now, I granted, I do not know how much of an installation base that Discovery Plus has. I'm assuming it's nowhere near as big as your Netflixes, your Hulus, your HBO Maxes, etc.
Yeah.
Discovery Plus might be having a battle with Peacock for all we know, but Peacock is also one of the services that's wrapped in with Xfinity. So technically, that installation base is, has an entire cable network under their belt. And I'm not sure if Discovery Plus is the same. But I know if there's anything that I enjoyed, whether it was Discovery Plus or YouTube Red. They even call it YouTube Red anymore? No, it's YouTube Premium now.
YouTube Premium, yeah.
Or
And
any subscription. Oh,
do they have originals now? Because like what Cobra Kai was the one. You know what I mean?
Cobra Kai was the one people cared about. They said they were making a couple more. And then I don't really think. I mean, you know what? I got YouTube Premium. I can go look it up right now.
Wait, you have that?
Yeah, because when I got my phone, I got 6 months for free. So I got that YouTube Music and shout outs to Samsung hooking a brother up. Well, anyways, let's go ahead and let's look at some of these premium features. YouTube Originales. So YouTube Originals has something called Recipe for Change, which looks like a talk show that it talks about social justice issues. Like hair acceptance, colorism. Mary J. Blige gets intimate and revealing. That they get they got nice interviews and stuff like that. I don't know if they have teaching YouTubers how to dance. A show called Copy That, apparently, where they take YouTubers and they try to teach that, they get a dance choreographer or a makeup artist or a comedian, and they all right, YouTubers who have no skills, try to do this. So that's the thing. There's something called Bear Witness Take Action. I don't know what that is, but given what I could see here, this looks like it's either a black podcast or a black not drama show, but Real Housewives, not the actual Housewives episodes, but the ones where they got a whole bunch of people sitting down at a talk show and then it's fake drama.
Oh, I hate those.
It looks like one of those.
Where they take The View and then they replicate it. The View, The Real. I don't know what was God. There was another version of that, but whatever. They had so many versions of it, and then most of those died. So now it's The View and The Real still exist. Everything else doesn't. Meghan McCain really shook up the game by being on The View and showing everyone everywhere that conservative women are insufferable. She was there to really, show the world what conservative women are really like, and she was the most insufferable human being ever. And so, did you do the job?
But as far as their originals,
series, they don't seem
I think everything that they had came out in 2018, 2019. Then the pandemic happened. I don't think they've seen anything that's good. I think the last thing they released that was good was Wayne. And that was just an action comedy series.
Wayne?
Yeah.
What is that?
It's an action comedy series. It's the one about the I've seen half of an episode, so I can't really give you the full scope. But essentially, all it is they just want to get back a stolen call that belonged to his father, and now they got beef.
This show, yeah,
it came out right before the pandemic, I think it was in the August of 2019. Then 2020 happened, and I think we all know it was Murder She Wrote at that point. And
one of the girls in this show apparently is Jaden Smith's ex. That's okay. Well, that's all. I see what I need to know here, and okay, Wayne.
But I think everything
2019.
Yeah, and I think everything else is 2018, 2019. I don't think since 2020. I don't think they've had a single thing that is worth people really talking about or investing time into. And to be honest, I just don't think they've had that much. Period.
This girl's going to be in a Hellraiser remake that's coming out this year on Hulu. Yeah, well, there you go, man. Quality content coming from YouTube, all right? Quality content coming from YouTube Premium right there. So,
actually, hold on. I got a chart.
Oh.
I'm gonna search by date. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to premieres, Wayne is actually the last thing.
Wow.
Now, if you want to talk about kids and family, we got a couple things in 2020, but like once again, that's kids and family and teen thriller. One teen thriller called Lockdown, which came out in 2020, so I'm pretty sure we know what that is. And they're all in all the statuses of the things that are 2021. I'm gonna give these are their statuses. Kid Correspondent was apparently renewed, which is a news satire that's apparently 11 to 15 minutes in length. Everything else, pending, canceled, pending. So that's anything that's come out after that. They had a couple of animes that came out, but once again, those are all in 2019, and they were all one season. And yeah, one was a musical, one was a mecha anime, and you probably didn't hear the mecha anime because it's called Obsolete. Fitting.
A musical anime?
Yeah, called Idolish 7 Vibrato. Don't know anything about it, but it's on the list.
That sounds really
And
that
they do
sounds
have
like
a
something.
couple of docu-series, but like if I want to go to docu-series, I'm just going to go to Discovery Plus or HBO Max. I don't think I'm really going to sit here and worry about K-pop evolution. They have the Alicia Keys The Untold Stories.
What? Okay, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. That's mad weird. Or mad weary, as some would say.
And there's one that's called How to Be Bazinga, but it's spelled Behzinga.
This sounds terrible. I'm depressed now. Like, god damn.
Yep, he's an English YouTuber, streamer, and internet personality, and he produces videos on gaming, soccer, and comedy and fitness. He is a co-founder and member of a British YouTube group known as The Sidemen. You've probably heard of them, featuring guys like KSI.
Oh no.
And it's just a documentary series following that guy.
I've learned so much right now. So okay.
I mean, that's YouTube, man. So there you guys have it. We just gave you the TV guide rundown of YouTube Premium and its exclusive original shows. Not impressed, not worth it. You get it for YouTube Music and you get it for no ads on YouTube, even on mobile devices, without having to get some third-party app that works when it wants to sometimes, but not all the time, but most of the time. Or in some cases, it just gets DMCA'd and then it stops working altogether. But I digress. I don't know, man. I just feel as though a lot of these subscription services as a whole aren't worth it. But this whole merger thing actually sucks.
Well,
mainly because the price is going to get tripled for somebody, and some of us aren't even going to have the shows that we really care about. Because Discovery Plus, I guarantee you, they ain't losing those shows. They don't have to make layoffs like that.
Yeah, because Discover is buying out HBO.
Yeah,
so
because they got the money.
Which is wild.
They in fact can cash app that.
Like how are these television networks making money at this point? Because it's definitely not off of like cable. Ad revenue. Okay.
Well, with Discovery Plus, a lot of these documentaries, it's the people who make the documentaries putting up the money. So technically, Discovery doesn't have to put up the money for the project. In a lot of cases. But then again, does HBO really put up the money for all these projects? Because I guess, I think if they have exclusive series, then yeah, of course, I guess they don't really have much choice to do that.
Yeah, but like HBO's library is mostly good because they have like other content from like other places. Like they have all the Cartoon Network and Adult Swim content, so where you can watch like, Smiling Friends and Samurai Jack and Curse the Cowardly Dog.
Yeah, but those are the shows that aren't going anywhere though. They're talking about the stuff they actually have to make. That's where those are the shows that are in jeopardy.
Yeah. I think that would mostly be like documentaries and some of their more original shows like Love Life.
That's
Oh
why the
man.
Harley Quinn show is like, oh man, we might be losing that. Now, they'd be foolish, absolutely foolish to let that one go. There's about 5 or 6 shows where it's like, if they let that one go, I think we all scratch our heads. I think we all agree on that.
Take Titans first, please.
No,
Look,
when you showed me the Trigon fight, and I was like, that was 2 minutes. They solved that man in 2 minutes.
I didn't really watch the CW shows very much. But I didn't I was aware that they had like a lot of like multiversal like events like Crisis on Infinite Earths and whatnot. And recently I actually found out that they did a lot of like really cool stuff. Like they had an episode where they went back to Smallville, Clark Kent, and showed what happened to him after the show ended and whatnot. They actually showed characters from the Titans TV show and established that they're all from a different universe, and so it's not the same continuity as the CW verse or the movie cinematic universe, and that the TV show like CW verse is also a different universe from the movie universe because Ezra Miller showed up as Flash in a Flash episode or a Flash like crossover episode, and so thank God they've established that those things are not canon to all these other things that are that have been going on and then like shit themselves. But take Titans first, please, because it just gets worse and worse every single time you release a season. Like I look, I respect the actors who are a part of this series. You know, they're doing their best, but stop writing it, please.
Hey man, I'm right there with you. But speaking of people shitting themselves, you put this on my timeline, and before we get to the phone call, apparently a transgender YouTuber, Blair White, shit herself at CPAC Dallas because she was afraid to use the proper restroom. Now, I don't know if you looked into that. I haven't looked into it at all yet. I just saw it on my timeline because you tweeted it. Well, you retweeted it. So I want to know what is this? What was shaking here?
Okay. I haven't checked whether or not it's real or if it's some like shtick that's going around, but like Blair White is definitely a CPAC because that's who she is. Blair White is the trans woman content creator who goes out of her way to kind of be transphobic and peddle a bunch of right-wing talking points. She's the woman who in the one episode we talked about, there was the weird podcast debate thing where there was just like a bunch of different conservative content creators and a literal Nazi, and the Nazi was like, you are harming children by existing. You need to detransition and live your life as a man right now. She's the woman who sat there and just took that. So this insider article that's going around does sound like something that makes sense, that she wouldn't be sure what bathroom to go into.
But we can all agree that this might be a shit post, right? Like,
yeah. Like, she definitely has the appearance, of a woman. Like, if nobody knew who she was, they'd be like, "Oh, that woman is going into the women's restroom." But this is CPAC, so you've got a shit ton of transphobes who would be like, "You're a man. I don't care what you look like. You need to go in the," that kind of bullshit. And obviously, she's not trying to get like gotcha'd or whatever, because her man Alex Jones can't save her now because he's in a bit of shit himself. She also started a podcast where she had an episode recently with Alex Jones to talk about trans people and all kinds of other weird shit and issues and stuff with other content creators. I think Gavin McInnes is in an episode. I think like every the weird Ben Shapiro is probably in one of the episodes. Like it's a shit show. Anyway. Anyways, yeah. Apparently she shit her pants at CPAC, and that's just hilarious. If it's true, it's just hilarious. Like, look, I don't care.
So you want to know what's funny? I go to Insider, right? I looked for Blair White. Apparently, the last article they wrote about her was May 27th, 2021. So I'm not sure where this article's at. If there even is one. But this is a literal shit post.
The plot thickens.
Because I see in that thread, not a single person has asked for the link to this.
But of course,
And it's like, look, I understand that we can all dislike the people that we dislike, but like, if someone puts out like a statement on people that we don't like, I still think that we need to consider the source, check for information, and make sure it's true before we commence the dunking.
of course. I mean, for all we know, this is just a meme. But of course, one of the other things that's in this thread is Alex Jones, Blair White get married, and it's a picture of them on the what is it? The Timcast episode that was in like I don't know, like someone's like RV or like a Winnebago or something. I don't where like Joe Rogan, Alex Jones, Blair White, Tim Pool, and all his friends were just mucking about, talking about whatever. And, Blair White is next to Alex Jones. Alex Jones, who's known as a chaser among a lot of people. He's been exposed as a trans chaser, a trans woman chaser, I guess you should say. And so people made all these memes of like them getting married because it seemed like it's the day of her dreams to be able to break bread with Alex Jones. And so look, I saw this and I was like, there's no way this is real, but it's funny. So whoever went out of their way to do this, that's funny. If this ends up being real, it's even funnier because just this is not like necessarily like hurting anybody. It's just like, yeah, she shit her pants. It's like, what a predicament. And I mean, considering the things that we've been hearing recently with all kinds of content creators, considering Alex Jones, considering the Marjorie Taylor Greene, all that, we need a little bit of levity in our lives. Like, holy shit. But yeah.
Like personally, I just don't think it's real. But like, it is
Oh,
crazy
I
how
don't
social
either.
media has made it to where, hey, if you're not liked, somebody can say anything about you, no proof, not at all, and people will run with it to the bank. They'll cash it in.
Oh yeah, I mean that's how they get your mom and dad on Facebook. Usually this is on the conservative side, but they're always like the fake articles or the gotcha clickbait article titles or the memes and whatnot. It's like it's like Joe Biden voted to let immigrants take your home and eat your food. There's bullshit like that, and it's just like people just hear the not my food. How dare he? No. Oh,
Joe Biden allows illegal, like, what, bro? Do you remember that commercial where like you heard it on the radio? It played like some sirens. You hear like someone breaking into a house, and it's like Joe Biden has written us into a dystopia, and it's like, I'm sorry, what? Illegal immigrants, crime, rapists, sexual predators running through your neighborhoods at all hours of the day. We must stop this. Lightning strike, November. He wants them on the streets. We want them behind bars. In their country. Bro, it wasn't too long ago we had that one politician who was just like, and if I could, I'd round up all the illegals and drive them back over the border myself.
That guy was in Georgia.
Yep, sure was.
Why do we live here, man? Sometimes I just think, like, yo, how do these people all just like live here and like we never see them?
How do they all choose to congregate in our state? But
Bro,
they never around us. And I was like, then damn. Then I look at my arms and I go, damn. They don't want to be around us, man. That's crazy.
Exactly. It's like you see something like that, and then someone who's not here will look at that and it's like, that's how it is over there. It's like, no, sir, no, it's not. I mean, certain parts that you should not be in, but like for the most part, we are sane human beings.
What's some of these people's advertisers, these people's campaigns, literally like Comedy Central skits, bro. It looks like something we see on Saturday Night Live. It's very awkward to look at, and yet it happens so consistently. And I think that's kind of how we get to our next talking point, because Alex Jones and his whole fucking phone, the whole phone.
Mm-hmm.
How do you lie? Have your attorney, your people, your legal team, yours, fumble the bag so hard they give your opposition, the people who are trying to get the money out of you, the people who would like to see you locked up, put away for slander, people who want to see a lot of dollars come out of your account and out of the pockets of your once again, your legal team. And somehow your legal team is responsible for giving not only the smoking gun, but the nuclear codes, the passwords, the messages, and the entire dossier that sits upon your cell phone for the past 600 to 1,000 days of your life, with every text message, every image, and everything that you've ever kept on record, to the opposition. And then not only that, as you saw in the court video that, was released, where they're saying, and not only did we let your team know that they have it, that we have it, and that they sent it, they did not go through the proper channels, nor say that this is privileged information. They didn't go through they didn't jump through any of the hoops, which makes me start to think, I don't even think that the legal team of Alex Jones likes Alex Jones.
Honestly, yeah. It really doesn't seem like they do, because it seems like whatever lawyers he chose are like
two dudes and a laptop.
Yeah, like there's a rumor that these are just like Twitter lawyers that he hit up, or it's like this is my lawyer friend's friend or some shit like that, because you have to be some kind of incompetent to accidentally send evidence against your client to the opposition, and then when the opposition says, "Hey, I think you sent this to me on accident," you just go zippity doo. Well, the fuck, man. I sent it. I guess.
I think the last time we saw a gaffe like that was in the Ahmaud Arbery case. Bring up Georgia legislation yet again. But remember, before it was a he said she said thing, and they said, "Nah, we're gonna show the video that shows we were in the right," and everyone said, "No." No, you're not. Stupid. Like, what?
They're like, look at him being dark in our neighborhood. You see, we had to take him out. And they're like, excuse, sir, what? What are you saying? Like,
look at that night walker. Excuse me?
They're like, sir, we like black people, and we respect black people here in this courtroom. They're like, excuse me, huh? Oh, this is not looking good for me, Jim. like what kind of stupid nonsense? If I send them the video of me being racist, they'll be on my side. It's like, bro, you're not even in. Like, come on, man. What? Once that gets on the internet, people will see it and be like, look, these guys are racist. There's not enough racist people who will show up and like defend you, that will save you from this courtroom. You got to pay too much money for for a lawyer that will get you the right judge that will get you out of that situation. And Alex Jones did not do any of that. Got the most incompetent lawyer ever. The opposition literally said the next day, like, I gave you a chance to dismiss this evidence, to make sure that this evidence was not admissible to this case, and you didn't take it. And like, of course, afterwards, the dude was like, I would like to, strike this evidence from the case. And it's like, no, like, what are you talking about?
So the time for those negotiations are over.
Alex Jones on the stand the whole time is like, he's saying so much like conspiratorial like nonsense, like so much word vomit, that it's hard to even like understand what he thinks is going on and what, like what's true, what's not, all that jazz. But his lawyers were like, don't worry, guys, we'll help you put this man in jail. Because they were like, you don't really understand how he could be culpable in this situation. Well, here's his phone records, so you can see all the text messages and whatnot. You can see how he is behind closed doors, so that you really understand that he knows what he's talking about, he knows what he's doing, and we should get him out of here. And they kind of have. He has to pay $4.1 million to the parents of the kids from
Sandy
Hook, who were harassed because this dude decided to tell his fans that these people were fucking were paid actors to stage a massacre for like gun lobbying, in which case it didn't even work. So like, like the thing about these conspiracies is that they make it sound like these people are doing these things because they know that this legislation is going to get put into play, or that these changes are going to be made. We are years out from
Look, look,
events like that.
there is one excerpt about this that was in the cross-examination that I thought was amazing. So, while confronting Jones about the newly discovered text messages in the court Wednesday, Bankston displayed one of them in which an editor who worked for Jones sent him a screenshot of an InfoWars article claiming a hospital was using dummies in a coronavirus ward. The editor, Paul Watson, wrote that it makes us look ridiculous and added specifically, "This is Sandy Hook all over again." Jones texted back, "I get it. That man tied the noose himself. He's swaying. He's swaying in the wind right now." Bankston also asked Jones about his emails. He also noted that Jones testified that he did not have any about Sandy Hook because he doesn't use email. Jones said in court, "Yes, I personally do not get on the internet and sit there and use email. I've never sent emails myself because I don't like it. I can't stand it. There's too many of them." The attorney then displayed emails that said Jones had sent to his lawyers, his staff, and other business operations. Because he's never sent an email until he sent an email.
You know what's good about this though? Now we have grounds to finally show these like supporters of like InfoWars. Like the dude is lying on the stand. He's lying under oath, under God. You know, he's lying straight up, and he made it seem
Look, there
so
are
like
plenty
he's so
of God.
jovial about it.
There are plenty
Like,
of hot-blooded, God-fearing Americans who really don't fear God. They say they fear God because they understand that that's a talking point that gets people's ears to perk up and will get people to be passionate and aligned with you.
yeah, honestly,
And if you don't take my word for it, why don't you take Vince McMahon? That man got on national television a couple weeks ago on Monday Night Raw, walked down to the ring, played the intro stinger that says "Then, Now, Forever, Together." You man get in the ring with all the things going against him right now, and he says, "I come out here to show that we play a little title card at the beginning of the show that says "Then, Now, Forever. But most importantly, we're in this together." We? We? You mean the Nintendo Wii? You speak French now, my boy? You just saying yes for no reason? Because I know you ain't talking about your Wii. That's how you got into this trouble in the first place. But, you know, back to Alex Jones. He said that he didn't make too much money. He said deplatforming, you know, with all that, you know, because Bankston pointed out that Jones had claimed that he had lost millions because of the deplatforming that was going on here and made up to $200,000 a day.
yeah.
But he said in these messages on Jones's phone suggested InfoWars brought in as much as $800,000 on some days. And if he kept up the current pace that he was going at, it would add up to roughly $300 million this fiscal year. Now, Jones says that these numbers might have been cherry-picked. And here's the thing. Even if they are cherry-picked, to get $300 million, let's just be modest. Let's just cut it in half twice. You're telling me that you're pulling in roughly $60 million to spew out bullshit that you made it up.
Yeah.
A writer came up with that one. There are people who've been busting their ass trying to get published who ain't even making $500K a year off of their book.
Exactly.
And their writing is good, creative setups, a whole world with a deep subset of mythos, characters, races, you know, world building, you know, that thing that you probably could have been good at if you applied yourself to be, you know, to something constructive in terms of writing. But, you know, here we are. But this is a wild case. I mean, what are your thoughts right now? Like, how do you feel they do about this?
I'm so glad that his lawyers are so terrible because man, we have so much information on this man and his like his nonsense habits that he's getting excessively clapped because after this he's got to see the January 6th committee because what is it? The committee.
It's crazy when there's another case going on and somebody goes, "Why don't you just pass that over here, guy?"
Yeah. It's like when you're done, just bring him over here, you know? Like, hey. So this guy who's been making millions, bro. Look, it's one thing to have like, fans who are like, oh yeah, I'll donate $5 to you today, whatever. But this guy has people donating him $8 million worth of like cryptocurrency. And he's told to pay what, $4 million to these parents, and of course it's like split amongst these parents and whatnot, right? $4 million in restitution, or I guess
Because I
not
know
restitution,
originally they
but
were suing him for 150,
yeah,
150 mil. I don't know what the number actually totals up to, but if it is 150 mil, if they're saying that he could have made 300 mil in a year, I mean, sure, this is a this sucks moment, but it's not putting him out of business.
it's not.
He's
He's
just
gonna
got
come
to
back.
find a way to diversify the income. And when it comes to content creation and literally making up shit as you go, the sky's the limit.
Yeah, because this dude, like, okay, I think the first day it was when the parents were giving their testimonies about what's happened to their lives after this man accused them of being crisis actors. He wasn't even there because he was recording a podcast where he was literally trying to like say that they're autistic and that they're devilish beings and all this other stuff. Just really slandering these people.
Do you know how crazy it is? You're calling people who lost their, like, imagine you lose your child. Imagine. Or you lose a family member who dies, and let's just take September 11th. And then somebody says, it never happened. It was a lie. And all the people who claim that they lost families, they're liars. And not only are they liars, they're the worst type of liars. They are devilish people. Absolute scumbags and social degenerates who honestly shouldn't be allowed to breathe the same air we breathe as good, God-fearing Americans. In order to push that rhetoric about you and your family to the point to where he has gotten people who hear your claims, hear your cries, hear your true to the world sob stories, and look at them with skepticism, doubt, anger, and feel as though you're just trying to make a get-rich-quick scheme by playing off the sympathy of other people who can hear your message. Meanwhile, this guy is getting paid to get people to think that about you. And you've never met this man, interacted with this man, and for a lot of the parents of the Sandy Hook shooting, don't even know this man existed until people started coming after them about, well, Alex Jones says you're a fake and a fraud and a charlatan. And you're trying to scam us. Meanwhile, you still got to find a way to pay for funeral costs for your dead child.
Yeah, that shit is absolutely awful. It's good that they won in this court case so that they can get something from it. It sucks that there's still probably going to be some sort of blowback from his fan base because they some of them are just die hard. Some of them are those people who are like, I feel like everything he's saying is true, even though he says some hot nonsense sometimes. I mean, like, shit. We all remember the Joe Rogan podcast episode where he was going about all kinds of crazy things, and then halfway through, he's like, I am sometimes I am a bit R word. And it's like, yeah, that's what the general populace will see when they see this man saying the wild things that he says. But he says it with so much conviction that people are willing to go to someone else's house and harass them, all because this man just said it. And what's his source? Trust me, bro. Or they don't want you to know the truth. Like how do you compete with they don't want you to know the real truth? That's where they're gonna silence me. Like,
so anytime there's any sort of let's just say resistance to the words that he says, he can always rely on, well, it's real cool that they would silence me. That's how you know I'm telling the truth. And there are people who are gullible on the internet. Like the whole thing with the article that we just dismissed, like literally 5-10 minutes ago?
Yep.
There are people who looked at it, saw it was a person they didn't like, and saw that someone was able to Photoshop a logo at the top left. And you know what they said? Hey, man, we pushing P. Or was it a couple of weeks ago? Did you see how ESPN got cooked by a fake article written by, and I quote, Ballsack Sports? So I don't know if you were on the timeline a couple weeks ago if you're into sports, but there was a whole thing where apparently Ja Morant allegedly say he would cook Jordan in a one-on-one and it wouldn't even be close. And everyone kept talking about Ja Morant this, Ja Morant that. He's an idiot. Hell, Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless had an entire debate segment of their show. First Take. All of those ESPN shows and Fox Sports shows were all going to town saying Ja Morant's crazy. He shouldn't have said it. He needs to learn how to stand down. He needs to keep his head forward and be humble. They were talking about his character, saying this man's delusional, and he never said it because they fell for a fake Photoshop. Like, all they did was take a generic screenshot of Ja Morant in the game and made an infographic that just had the quote. And no one did any research. No one talked to Ja. No one did any of that. And people just ran with the story because oftentimes in the news world and on social media, people don't care about being accurate. They care about being first. And a lot of people who care about being first, if they can't be the first, they'll be the loudest. And that's how we end up in a lot of the shit shows that we end up in. And this is no different. Not only was Alex Jones first, he was loud. Very loud. So much so, he was loud for over a decade. Because I don't know if any... Do you know when the Sandy Hook shooting took place?
No,
Do you know the year?
2018?
No, 2012.
Huh?
Yeah, it's been a decade, sir. Like this... This is... We're coming up on 10 years.
Holy shit. The end of 2012. That... Whoa, man.
I would say 2018. That's right before the pandemic.
Look, man, the before times are hard to remember.
You're right. I feel like everything that we had in the pandemic was basically Attack on Titan.
Please don't say that. You know that ends in actual fascism, right?
Have you seen our country? Do you know what we're headed towards? You know, like it's just, you know.
Look, man. Between influencers who are off their meds and like spouting all kinds of like dumb shit in support of just ignoring all of this and not voting, and people who have to convince their friends and family that voting will still save them despite the current state of things. It's hard. It's hard out here.
Right? Now, I hate to double back and talk about streaming services, but I don't know if you heard about the showrunner for the show called First Kill, but it was canceled on Netflix. Did you hear what they had to say about their beef with Netflix?
They said it was the advertising that, you know, it was just advertised as like a teen lesbian vampire series.
And to be honest, that's the only advertisement I ever saw for the show. I didn't watch it because I was like, okay, this is just about, you know, teenagers, you know, lesbianism, discovering yourself.
Look,
that's what I thought the show was about.
I did watch it, and
is that not what the show is about?
Yeah, that's why I was confused by that statement. I was like, is that not what the show was about? Like, what are you talking about?
That's why I brought it up, because I thought that's what the show was about. So I was like, okay, it's not my thing. That he's saying that's all the advertising was, and I was like, well, was it inaccurate? And you're telling me, no, that's the show. So I'm like...
It has other things in it, but like not... Like the central focus of the show is this plot that is about... that is a coming-of-age story of a vampire and a vampire hunter having a lesbian relationship with each other. And like the ups and downs of that relationship and that dynamic. And how, you know, yeah, there's some other things like, you know, there's some like political aspects here. I think like the vampire's dad is like literally the mayor of the town, or like, you know, the head sheriff or something. Like he has some sort of like political power that's insane, and he's a vampire. You know, there were some other things with like, you know, the vampire hunting family, you know, the girl's sister, you know, some other people wanting revenge for other things and whatnot. Like there are other parts of the story, but one, they're all a fucking mess. It's all a fucking mess. Two, the show was okay, but like it's okay for people whose niche is that kind of like thing, a teen coming of age, like, lesbian story. Like, if you're not into all of that, if you're not into all the teen drama and whatnot that would happen in shows like that, then this is not for you. I like the concept because it was like the concept of a love story between a vampire hunter and a vampire who has not tasted blood yet is interesting. But the show was not that great. Like, I was not surprised that this got canceled. Do you know, like, better shows on Netflix have gotten canceled after their first season? So, like, what are we saying here?
Because
Like, I
it's
know,
interesting because I've seen people talking about viewership numbers. They said it's got over 100 million watch hours. Look, you don't get to 100 million watch hours for no reason,
yeah,
unless sexy lesbian vampires apparently was enough to turn on some people and they watched the first episode a bunch and then they tuned out. But remember, these are teenagers, so I mean, do you have to bring up the whole cuties fiasco? We
yeah,
we
we
know
don't.
there are people who watch cuties because they thought they were getting what was on that poster and then they didn't. Which,
Yeah,
once again, Netflix. So when people say Netflix and advertising, don't get me wrong, I can see it. We have probable cause for that. But in this case, I don't think it's advertisement. I don't know if there was something. I don't know if this director like pissed in somebody's Wheaties, if somebody got beef, or because remember, Netflix was laying off a bunch of people. They were having walkouts and protests. There was a whole lot that was going on during the time where this got the axe. You know,
yeah.
there's a whole pandemic. This show was what, a 2021 show? 2020 show?
This show came out this year.
Okay, so it came out this year. So it's like, HBO Max is having a lot of layoffs. We don't even know if Netflix has actually recovered from all the stuff that they went through. But at the same time, what does Netflix really even have as far as original content that people are willing to even get to 100 hours worth of watch time? Because it can't be much.
Um, what? Just the Resident Evil series. I finished it. The Resident Evil series. God, what
Can we all
other?
agree that Bert is the best character in the entire show?
Hell yeah,
I
Burt
want,
Wesker.
I want that man to get I want him to get his breadsticks, bro.
Except, yeah. Anyways, what else? God, Netflix has originals, and I just don't know what they are. Stranger Things.
Because I know they said they're making a second season of Squid Game, but I was like, does that not defeat the purpose of the first season?
No, man, didn't you see the end? The stinger, he's going back, man. He's going back to expose the corruption.
Yeah, but I just feel like we're getting to that point to where like the magic of the show
It's gonna be
isn't going
gone.
to be there. Which is I know it's not a Netflix show, but I forget the show. The show where you have an inside personality and an at work personality.
Oh, oh
I
God,
forget the name of it though.
it's an Apple. It's like something Virgence.
Divergence?
No, it's not Divergence. Uh, uh, oh my God, Severance. That's
There
what
you
it
go.
was.
There you
That's
go.
what it was. Yeah, that show. Yeah, Apple TV. So look, Apple TV is not the greatest platform, but it has bangers like that. Netflix, what they have BoJack Horseman, which ended at least 2 years ago now, I think. They have F is for Family, which ended last year, I think. Disenchantment, which if you like that show, you like that show. If you don't, Big Mouth, which took an actual like really big hit recently because Jack Knight, one of the like writers on the show, is dead. Like, he passed away. He had his own show that he was working on too. He was like a young comedian, and he passed away. So there's that. God, what else is there? Like, you have like shitty TV shows like Party On. Tuca and Birdie had one season on Netflix, and then I think HBO made another season for it. So that's not even an original anymore. What else is there to come back to Netflix for? Hopefully not 365 days, because whoever is in love with that movie, uh, God help you, because
Because I
that
mean, most
was
of the stuff that I think that people care about is like stuff that came out like anything between 2012 and 2016.
Yeah.
I mean, unless they're gonna make more series of or more mini series of like Black Mirror.
I don't think Black Mirror is coming back. I confidently feel like Black Mirror is not coming back, even though like it's left that like, place where it could come back, but I don't think
Damn,
it
Black Mirror came out when I was in high school. No, right after I graduated high school.
yeah, but like people weren't paying attention to the show when it came out around then.
Yeah, 'cause that was like in 2011, and I don't think anybody really cared about it until there was like the ARG choice selection version on Netflix.
Yeah, that was so bad. Bandersnatch, that was so
Yeah, I think that was the first one where people actually looked into it. Now, granted, it wasn't good, but I would think that was the first one where like you could say Black Mirror and people didn't respond with what?
I think I think the season that came out right before that uh is where you could really say that because what it got put on Netflix and they also got a new season on Netflix and then people started watching it and they're like, "Oh, you got to watch the show," that kind of effect and then it became popular and then it had a new season which had American like actors in it like, like Miley Cyrus and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, God, what are people coming to this network for? Emily in Paris? Like, damn, man. Like, Netflix. So, even with like the reality shows, I mean, Love is Blind. Okay, that's Love is Blind, The Ultimatum. Those are good. Those are good, but they're good because they're shit shows. Um, Dating Around, I don't even think it's coming back. Too Hot to Handle after the first season got kind of like boring. It's like one of those things. It's like if you like Love Island,
Mm-hmm.
you're just gonna watch Love Island, and this uh, after the first season just kind of became Love Island without the same rules. It was just like Love Island. If it's like we don't care who you get with or if you get with someone or anything like that, just don't touch each other unless we say so, please. That's it. Um, what is it? The Circle. That's another show where it's like after the first season, I wasn't as interested, but other people still do like the show. I mean, Too Hot to Handle after the first season, everybody else who would get on it knew, and then they would just kind of be like, "Well, I'm an influencer, so I don't care if I lose the money. I want to have sex right now. I am 21 years old. That sort of thing." Uh, Love on the Spectrum US, I think that's a Netflix original that just recently came out, which is nice. It's heartwarming. But it's not really breaking in like the views like that. Um, yeah, I can't think of any other like actual Netflix like originals that are there. I think what is it? The team behind Love Is Blind, the Lachey's have like another TV show that they're trying to put out. There was some leak that had like what is it? A new season Love is Blind or two new seasons of Love is Blind, another season of The Ultimatum, and then something else that they're trying to like add to Netflix. But those aren't enough to get people to be like, Netflix is the network I want to go to for all the originals. So I don't know. It's mad weird. It seems like Disney Plus is the one where if you want originals, that's where you'll have some entertaining things because the Marvel Cinematic Universe and High School Musical, the series, the musical, or the musical, the series. I don't know, man. Like,
Bro, you got a better chance of catching somebody watching the Da Vinci People, unironically. I still don't get them. Am I old?
yeah,
Is
we're
that
all
it?
old.
Am I just old? Because like I see them pop up on my timeline all the time, and I'm like, I don't understand.
I mean, shit, man.
Entertainment value not ascertained.
The Umbrella Academy, that's an original, but
Do you care? Do you?
I watched
Do you care, my guy? Do you?
I watched
Do
season
you?
3, and after season 3, I'm just like, if a new season comes out, that'll be cool. If they stop, good, fine. It's a
Not
perfect
good.
stopping point. It was a perfect stopping point, honestly. Like if they try to do something else, the show will get ruined because even the third season was just kind of like really pushing it on. I don't know if this is worth watching anymore, but it still had enough to like keep you watching, and then the ending was nice for the most part. Like it was a nice way to stop it. And they could go on, but they shouldn't.
Understandable. They should just nip it in the bud right now, huh?
Because even the source material is not past where they're at in the show. So like they did work with Gerard Way, I believe, on this third season, but what's
So we're gonna get a live action exclusive ending.
I mean, that's kind of what
It
this third
wouldn't be the
season felt
first
like.
time, and it won't be the last.
House of Dragons coming soon. Why
Don't do
didn't that
that.
get canceled?
I mean, hell, we're
Anyways,
getting who's the one that is it Netflix? Who's doing the Lord of the Rings thing? Who's doing that? It's Netflix, right?
Amazon Prime.
Oh, never mind. GG's.
Yeah, see?
I
And
don't want to
Amazon
watch
Prime
that either.
shows like Amazon Prime is a platform that like a lot of people aren't seeking out because it's like they're going to Amazon to buy things for themselves. They're not going there specifically for like the original shows because you have The Boys, you have Invincible, which is going to take a while to come back. You have some good stuff on there, but it's not anything that's driving people to be like, oh, I got to get this platform right now. It's just something they happen to get. Shit, it's something I happen to get as like an addition to having Prime so that I could buy things off of Amazon with Prime bonuses. So I don't know, bro. Like Disney Plus is actually seeming like the platform that has the best originals, and that's making me sad.
That's true. We
Because
really starting to lose out on good programming, man.
I mean, look, Marvel fans are right when they're like, "Yo, all these TV shows, they're not really up to snuff." Nothing was better than when WandaVision was announced, and then the little like teaser trailer came out, and it was like, this is going to be a show that has homages to like other like sitcoms and whatnot from different eras. Be excited. And then the first like 3 episodes were, and then it was like, okay, now we have to tell you what's actually happening. And that's when the show had to like take a shit because it didn't, they couldn't really do too much with it. They're like, here's a twist. This villain is this person. Now CGI battles. And then you'll see Wanda in Doctor Strange.
Use your shows to sell other shows. Don't ask question. Consume product. GG, shake our hand.
I mean, look, a lot of the shows are okay. A lot of the shows are pretty good. Falcon and the Winter Soldier was disappointing because it's like it could have been way better, and instead it was just like very generic, stuff. And then you were with the villains the whole time. It's like, no, they're literally stealing vaccines for this horrible disease because you guys don't want to give it to like the poor people, and like they've all lost someone because of it. Like what is not to like here? It's like they murdered someone. Oh, okay. I mean, like that's pretty bad, but like again, think of how many people have died just because the Marvel superheroes have just been fighting in their town. I mean, someone's car got lifted and thrown at somebody else at some point in time, and they missed. So,
look, bro. Look, bro. Look, bro. Look, bro. Talked about this on a previous episode. If someone chucks my car and they don't even kill the fucking robot or the alien or whatever,
pay me.
You paying me. I'm going straight up to Tony Stark. Look what you did to my fucking car, bro. It wasn't necessary. You shot this man with a goddamn plasma cannon, and it did no damage. You thought my Chevy Malibu was gonna put a dent in the motherfucker, bro? Use your brain. But yeah, man, it's wild out there.
I mean, everyone's fighting to have like quote unquote original content that's like not even actually original content. Like what? The new season of Love Island USA is on Peacock. It's a Peacock original, but it's Love Island. Like what?
Oh, you're right. That is a. Oh my god. Because what was it? I was on because I have Xfinity. I popped open my guide and there was this big peacock graphic that had like Brock Lesnar's big ass forehead, Roman Reigns' big ass fucking head, and then behind it was a bunch of naked, like half naked ladies and some dudes with six packs.
Yeah.
What is Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns getting the hose at SummerSlam? Like what's it? It's like, oh no, it's a different show.
Like wrestling is our original content, but it's wrestling. So like, no, it's not your original content. It's just content that you own. It's like,
And it's like, and at the end, he's like, you know, I get it, you own it, but you know, I can watch it on Fox, I can watch it on the USA Network. I don't have to necessarily watch it on Peacock, you know.
it sucks that
But the
all
WWE
these
Network doesn't
companies,
exist anymore because it's
all these,
Peacock now.
all these fucking companies who are just like, I don't want to pay somebody else to have my content. I want people to pay me to exclusively get my content. And the people are like, no,
Your
I
stuff ain't
don't
good
want to
enough
do
for me
that.
to pay. Like, hello?
Yeah. It's like, I'm not going to pay you like tons and tons of money for one show. Like, what are you talking about, my guy? And
Imagine if every YouTuber you're subscribed to said, nah, in order to see my videos, you gotta pay. You'd be broke, or you wouldn't be watching YouTube no more.
exactly, Ustream would come back. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh no. Well, oh, what was it? Oh god. Hitbox.tv, baby.
oh my God.
Never forget, man.
All
Never
those things would come back, you know?
Stream.me is on the prime.
Like, I would not want that. And, you know, everyone loved Netflix because Netflix was like the platform you went to like see all these shows that you love and whatnot. And it would have been easier if Netflix was just like, you know, a blockbuster, you know, modern day blockbuster. People just, you know, pay their money to put their content on Netflix and then they get a percentage of like, you know, whatever Netflix is getting from like streaming this content and having subs and all that jazz. But instead, they're like, yo, if I make up my own platform, then I can get my own subs and I can have 100% of the money. Well, look how that's working out for you guys now. You're getting bought out by each other and all this other shit. Disney's like shitting on you by having TV shows linked to like one universe. They have a meme as a television show: High School Musical, the series. That's a meme. Like, that's a fucking meme. You can't tell me otherwise. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way.
It's like somebody wrote all that out and said, yeah, this is it, man. This is on the official thing right here.
Exactly.
So
like, what do you even say? Like, hey, why don't you guys team up and then?
Because we're at a point now where like we got stuff that's by genre. Like, isn't there another streaming service that's literally just horror movies and like
Shudder.
Yeah, there you go. It's like
it's horror movies and then original horror movie content. And it's just
it's like we gotta stop, man. We gotta stop. Like, when are we gonna get Chuckles? It's just comedies like that. No. It's getting to a point where this is getting ridiculous. A search filter option should not be something I have to pay for. Well, if I want to see horror movies, I gotta buy the horror pack. Like, come on, bro. It's getting dumb. But I think that's it for this week. There's just a lot of dumb stuff that's happening.
Yeah.
And I don't
Evo,
see an end in sight.
Come on, man. Evo. Don't forget, you know, real quick, what you excited for any announcements? I mean, you know, NRS Daddy said it himself. He's like, I'm not going to be there. So y'all better not ask me for shit.
Nah, man, they going to have that man live via satellite.
Yeah.
I said I wasn't going to be there. I didn't say our presence would be non-existent.
Well, here you go, guys. Mortal Kombat versus DC 2.
No. It's just Scorpion in multiverses.
Why do people want this? Like, everyone keeps saying, "Oh,
okay," because
like,
somebody data mined the game in the first beta, and there's about 25 characters that weren't released that are in the data mine, and since that, 2 of them have came out.
But like, is Scorpion one of the ones that was in that?
Yep,
I don't remember
sure
seeing him as one of the ones.
He's in there.
I'm just gonna be very upset when I see 11 from Stranger Things, in this game, in that like model that I saw in the leaked picture. So
Look, they said the people. Well, okay. If you don't want to be spoiled, I'll do this motion right here with my hands when the spoilers are over. Okay. So the full alleged leaked roster from Multiverse is as follows: The Joker, Raven, Static Shock, Poison Ivy, Nubia, Black Adam, Scorpion, Fred fucking Flintstone, Daffy Duck, Marvin the Martian, Johnny Bravo, the Powerpuff Girls, Samurai Jack, Ben 10, Craig of the Creek, the Animaniacs, Daenerys, the Hound, Gandalf, Legolas, the Wicked Witch of the West, Beetlejuice, Gizmo and Stripe. I don't know who that is. 11, Ted Lasso, Rick, Morty, Emmett.
no, stop. Ted Lasso, come on now. What's he gonna do? Talk them to death with idioms and charisma? Like no, that's a lie.
Wait, hold on. It gets better. God is fucking Zilla. Because hey, we got Iron Giant, so there's got to be another big. And then the last three are Brute, Ninja, and Rex, which are all original characters.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Look, if I see a Ted Lasso trailer for this fucking game, I'm gonna be mad because do you recall when Neko Arc got announced for Type Lumina?
Yeah.
As someone who's been just like really wanting like more characters from the Melty Blood series to be in this game who are not there already, I fucking hate that this whole time it was like, this whole meme of like, no, they're gonna put Neko Arc in there as a DLC character. And it's like, stop speaking this into existence because they will do it. Because they keep seeing you say you want this character when you guys don't really want this character, And I saw that Scrot, posted a tweet, about this where he spoke the reality, to these people. He's like, in the 2 weeks, after you play this character and drop them, I hope you'll be very happy that you wasted the character slot. And, I feel the same way. Why? Because as fighting games get created, we have less and less characters on release, which means there's more DLC characters, which means there's more money that you have to pay for a character who is a joke, Can you imagine if you bought Street Fighter Alpha 1 or Street Fighter Alpha 2, and then you paid money for Dan, who was made bad on purpose? Like, come on, man. Neko Arc is a meme, and I get it. My meme character is in the game. Now I want to play it. I'm so intrigued. Cat Girl, the chibi thing.
Street Fighter 5.
This is a game that needed something to revitalize it, and like the cool character that got announced from like the Fate from Fate Grand Order or whatever has been overshadowed by the meme. So it's just
Yeah, here's the funny thing. It wasn't until like earlier today that I realized they even announced the second character. I thought it was just Nico Arc.
Exactly.
Not gonna lie to you.
Exactly. And what is it? Melty is not going to be at Evo, I believe. Or Melty, if it is at Evo, it's not going to be like a, what is it? Melty Blood Evo 2022. Of course, the bathroom meme comes up first. Yeah, okay, never mind. Melty's going to be there, but like their announcement is probably just going to be more info on these two characters that they've already announced. You know what I mean?
How do you feel about the way they block the schedule now? Because I guess with an actual budget, big time sponsors and things of that nature, this is Evo 2.0 back and better than ever. How do you feel about every game getting at least 10 hours of stream time?
I think that's perfect. I think every game deserves that because every game has its own fan base, and you want to tailor to that fan base with this, because this is considered to be like the like Super Bowl of fighting games, as some people have said. So when you're a Melty Blood type Lumina fan,
I'm sorry. I just saw what Melty Blood's lobby system looks like, and there's no way.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry. Oh, you didn't know, huh?
Nah, I don't play Melty.
I played this since launch. I'm sorry, man. Look, it has rollback netcode.
I, I'm sorry. What did you just say to me?
No, no. Look, uh, as someone who has been playing it on Xbox, trust me when I say that there are things about this lobby system that are just annoying. Uh, I have an Xbox Fat. Someone bought it for me so that I could play with other people who are on Xbox, but they're on Xbox Series X. So because they all have the upgraded Xbox and I have the older Xbox, the game itself runs fine, perfectly fine on old Xbox. But or the Xbox One, but if I join a lobby and I spectate a match between two people who are on Xbox Series X, that I get to watch a certain amount of the match and then the game crashes and I have to rejoin the lobby. I have to restart the game and rejoin the lobby.
I just. All right, that's what the lobby looks like. I don't have much for it. I hope they I hope the announcements leave us in brighter spirits than what I was looking at there. It's kind of rough.
I think Type Lumina will get something. I think there was like some hint that there might be two other free characters that are getting announced, which shout outs to free DLC characters for a fighting game. All right. Something we haven't really seen too much since Tekken Tag 2, where it was like all the DLC characters are free. We have a DLC thing, but that you can pay money for that. But like, the characters are free, so just download them. Whatever. Some people still somehow cannot go to the store and download these free characters, but whatever. That's whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
As far as announcements go, I think that's the best that Melty Blood can do right now, besides like an overhaul of the game or something. But I don't think what is it? French Bread is doing that right now. I think they're just focused on like releasing DLC slowly with this game.
So what you think about Tekken 8? You think we gonna get that?
No.
You think about to announce season 4?
If they do, I will throw my copy out a window. There's no fucking way. We are tired of Tekken 7. No, but like, I think they're gonna announce a new game. I think it's not gonna be Tekken 8. I think it's gonna be like a Tekken versus game, like maybe Tekken Cross Street Fighter or Tekken Tag 3. And I want it to be Tekken Tag 3 because those games are the ones that usually have the biggest roster. They have all kinds of like, interesting and wild things going on.
It seems like the game where they're willing to experiment. They're willing to just do shit.
Yeah. Also, we need redemption for the era of Tekken 6 and Tekken Tag 2, where motion blur was like the coolest thing to put in your fighting game. And boy, it is hard to go back and watch those games because it's blurry as fuck, man. Motion blur in a fighting game is a sin.
Yo, imagine lights go dark. See Capcom presents, but it's Tatsunoko versus Capcom remastered. I'll take it.
I'll take it.
It's not Marvel, but we'll take it.
Because when they do something like that, that means we want to see who's gonna buy this before we move forward with a project that will be a sequel to this universe or this type of game or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So if we want to make TVC 2, you better buy TVC 1. Tell us that you want that game. And, if we're gonna make a new Darkstalkers game, you better buy that Darkstalkers collection. That kind of thing. And I will gladly support it. That's why I bought Marvel 3 when it came out on PS4. I bought that shit immediately because one, it's more convenient, and two, it was like they're saying, "Hey,
the PS3 was a very inconvenient box. I'm not even gonna hold you."
Yeah, I don't like setting up my PS3 anymore, man. It has hardware security. Yeah, hardware copyright protection. Who the fuck? Like, come on, man. You made PlayStation Home and streamed Evo in PlayStation Home, but you don't want me to stream like one of your games on the same console? What is the thought process here?
Yeah, you had to buy ghost boxes to get past it.
Ghost boxes, HDMI splitters, like
I think on the PS4, isn't it on by default unless you use the PlayStation streaming apparatus in it? Because it's a checkbox.
Yeah, it's on by default, but you can go in the settings and actually turn it off.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Sony just be wilding sometimes. Then
Yeah.
again, look at how they're handling Spider-Man right now.
Coming out on PC this month. This month.
Well, I don't even mean that. I'm talking about Morbin. Look at how they about to fuck that up. Qyz, it's time to Morb.
We don't talk about the Morbin time anymore, right? Like, look, it came and it went. All right, Jared Leto.
It came and it went, and then it came back, and then it went again.
Exactly. They were like, "Oh shit, they love this. Let's put it back in theaters." And then figure out we ain't seeing this.
Not that we really tech the grab in real life, bro.
Yeah, we sure did.
We sure did tech that. And as far as announcements, Street Fighter 6, we know it's going to have a playable demo there. So obviously there's going to be a bunch of footage. We're going to probably see a slightly newer build. And maybe we'll get to know more details on if that open world story mode thing has actually got any merit to it, or if it was just a very, 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 let's just say, interactive lobby that we're going to get.
I don't want that to be an interactive lobby. I do want a single player like mode out of what they showed because
I do too.
That's important.
I don't want to see what was it, Guilty Gear Exert, where we could just kick a soccer ball around. Y'all remember? Weak kick, powerful charge kick. There were no goals, by the way.
Speaking
of
that,
just kicked it.
Strive Season 2. We get our first character announcement, at least. I hope. If they announce no character at Evo, then I'm going to throw my digital copy out the window.
Upload it back to the server? Nah, take this game back.
Yeah, take it back. I don't want this.
What if it's Cliff?
That'd be cool. I mean, they would have to do some story things about that. You know,
yeah, they sure would.
Like Robo Cliff or something, you know what I mean? But like, that would be cool. I never had a problem with Cliff. I thought he was a cool character. I thought the concept of like him becoming younger when he uses his powers and shit like that was cool. He was Genkai.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think. Outside of the games that we've already talked about, is there anyone that like could have an announcement where I'd be like, ooh, yeah. But I can't think of one.
Skull Girl? No, I mean they have a beta character who's basically like gonna be playable at Evo, I think, and then they're probably gonna be like, she's released tomorrow. MK11. I mean, Ed Boon comes out like he just jumped up from the rafters. I've come to announce my new NRS game. That's right, it's Marvel versus Marvel. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I am making the next Marvel game. And then everyone cries and we die inside. And it's like, no, I have to go back to Marvel Infinite. No, you know, like.
No, I could see it now. It looks like a really good Marvel versus Capcom game. You're like really into the trailer. Everything looks clean. Then you see an interactable.
That would hurt me, and I would also laugh. So, I mean, Street Fighter 6 will have character announcements, maybe some system announcements or something, like system changes that they're adding or something. But you know, we're set for Street Fighter 6. We just want to see the announcements since the list was leaked.
I mean, the character list was leaked with actual art files. So I really hope that like we don't find out that one of those characters ends up being DLC, because it's gonna be like, so you preemptively jumped into this willing to give us the DLC, huh?
What if it's okay? I don't know if you remember this, but when Skullgirls first came out, Mike Z, I think, released a list that just had a bunch of characters that they had made conceptually. And they had animations and whatnot in this thing. It was just like an image with like sprites of all these characters doing all kinds of things. And it's like, pick 2 that you want us to add in the game as DLC. Most of those characters did not get added. And all of them were really cool looking. What if the leak is that? It's that same concept. It's like, these are all characters that we thought about.
They started looking at Twitter and Reddit and be like, which ones are the most talked about?
Exactly.
Focus on these.
Exactly. Some of them are not coming coming to the final game because they're like nobody cared about it. Nobody cared about what Dalsum looks like, you know?
Not a good old. That's not Dazzle. That's Dazzle now.
um Tekken 7 is there. Soul Calibur is not there, but Bandai Namco is there. Dragon Ball. Oh wait, Dragon Ball's on the list. Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, hey, Dragon Ball's right there, man. What if we get Dragon Ball Fighters 2?
That's the only thing they can announce for that game at this point.
Oh no! Remember, they can always announce Super Dragon Ball Fighters or Dragon Ball Fighters Super.
Do we want to go with that motif though? Like that leaves a bad taste. I mean, that does help in the grand scheme of things because what, as opposed to saying Dragon Ball Fighters or Dragon Ball DBFZ2, you could just say Super DBF and you know whatever.
Dragon Ball Fighter GT. And in fight, it's the GT logo. I'm sorry.
Okay, all right. Well,
I was out of line.
Yeah. With the theme of this year, it would be Dragon Ball multiverse fight, or you know, multiverses, or they can't say multiverses. You know, it'd be like Dragon Ball multiverse excursion or something, you know.
No, Dragon Ball Fighters Xenoverse.
Okay, that, yeah. And then like Dragon Ball Heroes characters start showing up and whatnot, like Super Saiyan 4 Broly and some nonsense like that.
Bro, that'd be the best game. And they'd be like, it's free to play, but all the superheroes games are gonna be skins. So you could play Broly, but he could be Super Saiyan 4 Broly, Super Saiyan 2 Broly. He could be legendary, or not the legendary Super Saiyan. The one where he has like the blue hair. You know the one.
Oh yeah, Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan.
No, not that one. The first Broly movie, there was that form he had before he went legendary where he had blue hair. But then they retconned that in the sequel. Then he has regular Super Saiyan hair when he's in that form.
Yeah, because in the older, like in the original VHS of that, it was just regular Super Saiyan hair, or it was like a different kind of like yellowish Super Saiyan hair, and that was supposed to be like his regular Super Saiyan form.
And we were just like, all right, well, because I mean, I think they sold figures where he had the blue hair, and it was just like, huh? But I think they revised it to be the gold hair later on for whatever reason.
Yeah, I don't know. They
Because
are
some
so
VHS
weird.
copies, it was purple, and it was like, I don't know. I really don't know what they were doing with that.
I mean, this is also the era where they remade old Dragon Ball movies, or they like made English dubs of these movies and then put like Metallica over some of the fight scenes and shit like that. And it's just like,
when they dropped that Pantera 10s, but it was weird because like I know they didn't care about the lyrics, but like I don't need to see someone as big and hulking as Broly and then the lyric, it was tempting in bed. Like, excuse me? It was tempting where? Like, come on, man. Just get better music selection, bro. Although, how do you feel about the Japanese OST where it's like ding, boom, 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 boom.
Don't hate it.
Like, I don't hate it, but I just feel like given what Dragon Ball was to us here in America,
yeah,
it just doesn't feel right. Yeah, but hey, Bruce Falconer was on the shits, man. That man was doing it. Only problem is, like, I don't know if he can come back now because I just feel like the way as hokey and as goofy as Dragon Ball Super is, I don't think we need to hear that electronic. I don't think we need that no more.
Nah, man, I need that. That's my shit right there. Like, what are you talking about? Bring that back any day. I'll be fine with that.
But the Ginyu Force theme, unmatched. Bruce Faulkner, I don't know. Oh, Bruce Faulkner's not dead, bro, or something like that, bro.
Oh God. What if that's evil?
Bruce Faulkner is 70 years old.
I mean, we all get old at some point.
I ain't know he was that old, man. Why he look like Jim Ross?
I mean,
all right, well,
isn't that the fate of every old white man?
Jim. All right, yeah, I guess you got me there, black man.
Grand Blue, like,
It's
they're
finally going to
definitely.
get a tournament
I mean,
that that people are going to
yeah,
watch.
they're not like. They're definitely not going to announce like more content for this game. I don't think. But what are like if it's gonna get its own section where a dev is gonna come out and talk about something? Do we think it's going to be like a sequel to this game, something related to this game, or something just completely different, like a new IP? Like I think the last time they did something like this is when they came out and they announced DNF Duel. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
What if they come out and they just like disrespect this game by announcing like DNF Duel DLC or some shit like that?
No, dude. Oh
Because
yeah,
somewhere,
because I mean, we could get DNF. I feel like DNF is the next evolution of Grand Blue, but I also feel like Grand Blue, the actual IP, did not get their money's worth out of this game due to COVID and the fact that this game was basically shelved for other games as far as tournaments and majors being able to showcase it. So maybe we're getting Grand Blue 2. Maybe they're going to hit their own NRS cycle. Grand Blue 1 year, DNF the next.
ugh. Or maybe it's just like random IP every time for them. I think that makes more sense.
Bro, a Genshin Impact fighting game. Oh, they're gonna take all the money, bro. It
Stop
could
wishing
happen.
this.
It
No,
could
don't
happen,
do it.
bro.
Don't do it.
Bro,
I'm afraid
bro.
now.
Hey, man, I spoke it into existence. Make it happen. Make it
I don't.
happen.
I don't want that, bro. And anime wife, you know how many degenerates we're gonna have to fight off just for like playing that game? Like, nah, man. I don't want this.
What are you talking about, man? They play Genshin Impact. They only know how to push 2 buttons.
Exactly.
Once they get the button 3, 4, and they're gonna be, I have to use the trigger to block. It's GG's. GG's. They'll never win. They'll go right back to Genshin Impact, and then the game dies. Wah wah. All right, so now that I've said it out loud and walked us through the life cycle of the game, I give it 4 months. All right. Anyways, I don't. Any other announcements? I mean, obviously, we know that they're gonna have something for multiverses because they're having like $100,000 top 32 payout extravaganza that people are grinding for.
Yeah, multiverse is the 2v2 for the 200,000. I mean, like, yeah, I think multiverse is gonna have like a lot of people in it, and maybe they'll make an announcement. But I don't think the announcement is gonna be like very whelming. I don't know. Look, the way I feel about multiverses is that the game officially isn't out yet, and they announced yesterday that they're delaying season 1 and Rick and Morty. So, um, if they're announcing something, it's going to be the release date of season 1 and Rick and Morty, probably.
Oh no.
Oh, also, KY15 recently put out a trailer for Team Orochi and like how they're going to play. They haven't announced who's going to be in Team 4, so that's the announcement. Like, there you go. If they announce anything else, oh,
Oh, you think Project
fuck.
L's popping up?
Yeah. Well, the trailer came out, so like maybe they'll have like something additional because someone commented on the official thread and said that it was Clockwork that was playing on the hitbox. Um, One, I didn't know Clockwork is a part of this project. I mean, I'm not surprised, but I didn't know. Two, if that's the case, there's definitely more footage to be had. There's more footage to give to us, and the Cannon brothers will deliver. So yeah, I think Project L will announce something else, maybe like something additional, but like I don't know what, like we're all just like, let us know when this game is coming out. At this point, like I'm already sold, man.
Yo, you're in. You're in
Oh
deep.
yeah. Oh yeah, I'm already convinced that this is the savior of fighting games right here. But they give us these breadcrumbs and they're like, we're making sure this game is good. All right. That's why we haven't like, popped off on anything. We're making sure this is good. So, rollback netcode, free to play. Here's the character that we're working on. We're working on character to character. We're like, yo, this character looks cool for a fighting game. here's how we really gotta like put our brains on how this character is gonna work in the fighting game, and we're doing as much as we can to make them good, make the system good, make the game good. And people, are trying to find things wrong with the game. Like what was it? Air tech into instant buttons, and people like lost their minds over that. And I'm like, yeah. I mean, this is modern fighting games. Like, it's the savior, but that doesn't mean that it's not going to be a modern fighting game. So you take what you can get. All right, the game will be good. If it isn't, then I'll be sad. I'll never play fighting games again.
You gonna turn into Ryu? You gonna pick up the satchel? I'm a battle royale player now. Well, what was it? The end of the Cell Saga, at least in the dub. I am no warrior, and I will never fight again. Float off into the distance. And the lie detector determined that was a lie.
Wait, Ed Boon said Mortal Kombat won't be getting an announcement. Fuck.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh.
You know what that means.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that troll is definitely meaning something about a new game, or it's another DC fighting game. So fuck, man. All right, well, Evo is starting.
But do you remember why that happened?
Why? What happened?
Because IGN said the developers behind Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Tekken, and others are all expected to make announcement. They name dropped MK, and that's why he said except Mortal Kombat.
Exactly.
Sorry. So know it's about to be either Injustice 3 or he's about to drop that Marvel announcement that everyone keeps saying that he's gonna drop for the past 2 years for some reason. Which, I mean, it could happen.
I don't know if I want a NRS Marvel game, but I have to see it. At this point, I'm open to all things. So I have to see it. I mean, look, man, I played Dong Dong Never Die. So you can give me anything at this point.
But it's funny how when he said except Mortal Kombat, you just get a bunch of people going, no worries. Mortal Kombat 11 was trash and an embarrassment to the franchise. It's time to move on.
What if
it's actually nothing?
What if Capcom announces Street Fighter 6 in an additional fighting game? Rival Schools is coming back.
I feel like it's going to be in the same vein as Melty Blood. Like, there will be an install base of people who play it, but I don't think it's going to do enough to really capture the people, because I don't know what it is. When they bring back these old like franchises that weren't necessarily at the forefront of the fighting game industry, they don't take like they don't really go all in with it. It's always just really measured. It plays very similar with like maybe a new feature or two, but it's not an experience. Like, it's not like when Street Fighter comes out, we know Street Fighter 6 is going to have a full feature set. When Tekken 8 comes out or Tag 3, it's going to have a full feature set. When these other games be coming out, it's like you have story mode, you have arcade mode, and a bad lobby. That's it.
Yeah. But I think Rival Schools is something that they have to like really put their foot into, because that's a game where the cut content was like probably some of the best content that the game had, and it was cut from the American version. We got denied that whole mode where you get to go through school and do all these like quizzes and all this stuff to like build a character and all this shit. All that like interesting stuff needs to be put in the new fighting game if you have a new IP, because casual people are going to get drawn to that, and they're going to like enjoy that. They're going to have that enjoyable experience, and then they'll support your games moving forward. If you don't give them that kind of impression, they're not going to care about you. Why MK is so beloved, because everyone loves the story modes to Injustice and the last 3 Mortal Kombat games. Even though it doesn't matter if the story shits on itself. It's like, damn, that story mode is really interactive and cool. It made me feel like I was playing a video game.
It made me feel like I was doing something with my day. I enjoyed myself. He's enjoying himself. Take him out. Gotta go, man. You can't enjoy yourself in 2022, man. Those days are over.
All right. On that note, uh, yeah, I got nothing else to say about Evo. I want the best, and
My
I just want to see what
expectations
happens.
are very measured,
Yeah,
but hey, I'm hoping, man. Here's to you.
I
Let's
want
go,
Marvel
Evo.
4. I want Marvel 4, but you know, I'm I'm a realist here.
Facts.
Anyways, yeah, you got anything else you want to say?
Nah, man, I think that's it. Another great episode. And yeah, you'll be getting 2 episodes this week. So make sure you stay tuned because you'll be doubled up, bubbled up, and troubled up. Which is weird because technically the first episode would have already dropped, and this is the second episode. So there's not more. Just getting 2 because you got one this week. So you're welcome. We did that. Now you can all go on your day and have a great one.